Okay, I hope that everything is working okay now and that my audio is coming through. Thanks for the people who are already watching. It's a nerve-wracking evening so far because I already did some presentations and some live stream for SOLS, but doing your first live show is not always evident. I'm really nervous. You're probably going to hear it on my voice. But if you could give a shout in the chat that if my audio is coming through okay, that would be great. What we are going to do this evening is it's going to be a short show. I'm just going to explain what the project is going to be about. I'm going to do a shout out to another website or live group. That's something I try to do every week. And then in the second part, after I've shown my website, if it works okay, I'll try to do a very short studio tour wirelessly with my iPhone, so you can see that you don't really need a lot of space to do your own live stream. You're not going to see a fancy opener of the show because I really want to build it up. This is going to be the main goal of this show, certainly the few first weeks or even months, that we build it up together from one camera input, one audio input, and building up so that I try to help you. If you have any questions for the moment, please, you can put them in the live chat on YouTube to make things not too complex for me in the beginning. I'm not going to use Zoom or so, maybe in the next coming weeks, but I'll try to improve myself the first coming weeks. When we going live in a little bit more than 5 minutes, I'll explain more how you can contact me and all the rest that there is. There is also no background music at the moment because I was really keeping things simple. I'll try to show you my the desktop capture here. So you see, at the moment it's really a very simple show. I've put 2 camera inputs. So what you're seeing, for instance, here on the left is my Logitech C920, probably the most used webcam at the moment. My main camera is a Canon HF G30. My third input is my audio microphone. Then I have a very fancy start for my show. This is my green screen, but yeah, makes things a little bit more professional, but it's not needed. It's also something I'll try to show you in the next coming weeks, how to set up a decent green screen, which by the way is very easy in vMix. A small lower third to make some promo, 2 desktop captures, one of this screen but this is mainly to show you in a few minutes my website and stuff like that. So this is basically the main setup, and this is something rather special. It's the way I'm going to try to show you my studio, and I'll try to use my iPhone for that. It's via a special app. Also, what I'll try to do is when the show is finished and everything is published on Facebook, all the links will be published in the description. So the gear I'm using, stuff that I'm talking about, all of this is going to be in the description. So I see we have more or less 3 minutes, and my voice is really shaking at the moment. Hi Mel, hi Martin, thanks for coming in, and I hope this is going to be the start of something nice. So just checking that everything is okay, my stream is up. Something I may not forget is in a few minutes to push my record button so that I can crop some things out and share all my mistakes with the world. For the rest, nothing really special happened on the live streaming thing. Yesterday we had again a great show at the SOLS. There is a big show in Amsterdam at the moment, where all the companies are present, and probably in the next coming days and weeks you're going to hear the launch of some new products. Blackmagic launched their products last week. By the way, all the products they launched are very expensive in my eyes, but this is also what I hope to show you, that you don't really need very expensive equipment. You can do it with a simple camera and microphone. So half a minute, my as you see, my orange bar is already creeping more than less than 30 seconds. So I'll going to record everything. I'll put myself here, and then what I'll do is, to make it simple, is I'll mute my microphone, so you're not going to hear me for a little bit. I'll start a fancy screen to start the show, and then we'll start. Is there audio now, guys? I think I've made a terrible mistake in the show. That's, yeah. So there was no audio since the beginning of the show. Is that correct? So nobody heard anything. I'm really sorry. So what I propose to do is, you've seen the presentation. Let me show you what went wrong, because that can also be the problem for people who start a first show. What I did was, before I went live, I muted here. I'm going to show you my desktop capture. This is not the one, this is the good one. What I did was, my master bus was not selected. So that was the problem why you guys were hearing still nothing. Still no audio. No, still no audio, guys. No. Okay, the audio is okay now. Sorry that this happened. That's something I have to be very careful. What I propose, thank you for staying that long. You saw the presentation. I'm not going again through the presentation, but what I want to do is just saying everything, the 5 minutes of the beginning of the show. So what I did say in the beginning of the show is that this show couldn't have happened without the help of all the SOLS crew. I really want to thank everything in the SOLS crew that give me the opportunity to make this happen. Thanks everyone, and I want to thank in particular 2 people of the SOLS crew, and that it's Giles, who created SOLS and who is doing a show every Monday on 9 o'clock now, 9 o'clock European time, 8 o'clock UK time, 3 p.m. EST. There are 2. The second person I want to thank is Martin Steed, because I really think that without Martin I would never have started. We talked during several weeks about the show, and he pushed me to start and you see why I still was starting to start a show, first show, and already no audio during 20 minutes. That's something I have to learn. That's something I also want to give through to the other people who want to start a live show. Keep attention maybe to the chat, because people were telling me already after 5 minutes that there was no audio, but I wasn't paying attention to the chat room. So pay attention to whatever chat you are using, so this cannot happen anymore. Okay, I showed you my website without audio. I'll try to do a pre-recorded show, because this is not good quality to show people, where I explain everything again about the website, and I'll put that live. So the reason I started School of Live Streaming was after Streamfest Live. Streamfest Live was happening last year in August, we did a live stream for about 12 hours, and there were so many people who participated into the show. There were so many questions asked that I decided to create my own platform. It took longer than I thought because I was trying different things out. I was putting too much effort into the website and not into the content of a live show. So there are two lanes. The first lane is what I showed you on the website. Is I'll try to make 10 weeks or a little bit more maybe for people who want to start their live show, and everything that can happen. That's why it's live. I made a big mistake not unmuting my audio, but I want to become better live streamer, and I can help other people now making that they're not doing the same mistake. That's going to be the first lane, 10 weeks, let's say. And my main goal is that after 10 weeks, after we have discussed microphones, after we have discussed cameras, how to set up your production, lower thirds, everything, after 10 weeks, when you're feeling comfortable live streaming to YouTube or to Facebook, that you have your own production, and that you can then, for instance, if you like, come on Monday to SOLS and just present yourself or what your production you have made. So that's the first lane. The second lane, what I've been showing on the website, is that I'm going to create courses for more advanced users. I'm going to interview people who know their stuff about audio, video, instant replay, and I'm going to put also those things on the website. The main thing on the website, a very important part, was the contact form where you can suggest a topic or a speaker. So please don't hesitate to fill in the forms. If you're interested about knowing more about a topic, or you know a speaker, or yourself want to come onto the show, please fill out this form so I have topics to talk about in the next coming weeks, and I'll try to answer everything as soon as possible. So this was without some hindrances the first part of the show. Before I go to the second part of the show, there's something I want to do every week, and that's give a shout out to a group or a person who is doing something special. And I talked about SOLS, but that would be too easy. I'm going to dedicate a special episode to SOLS. But the shout out of the week is going to be, and I don't have a drum roll, but the shout out of the week is going to Mul. Mul is part of SOLS, and he founded SOLS with Giles. And Mul is coming every week into the show. And Mul was someone who wanted to start his own show, but as so many other people, he was afraid to start his show. And hold or behold, but a few weeks ago, Mul started Micro Homesteaders, where he talked about food, about a gun, which has an amazing story. And suddenly, Mrs. Mul was also coming into the show. And it's so great to see people working together, creating a show, and you see here, it's 10 minutes, it's 2 minutes, it's 7 minutes, it's 3 minutes. But Mul started. And I think that's the most important thing. We're not going to discuss how good your show is produced. Everyone is trying to improve his show. I think that's everyone is doing it. but you just have to start. And when you look already in the first episode Mel made and the episodes he's now making, that's already a huge improvement. So hats off to you, Mel, for being one of the first guys in SOLS starting his own show. And I hope you keep pushing every week a few videos, because I think a lot of people who, like me, who talk during months or year about live streaming and didn't live stream already, can take this as an example. Okay, I was hoping to do a show about half an hour, but because I lost 20 minutes without no audio, and I hope this is going to be working, is I want to give you a small studio tour. I'll try to use my iPhone with a special app. I'll talk later about how I was bringing it, but it's just, and I smell something burning, so I don't, I hope it's not something at my equipment. But I give you a small studio tour, so let's start this. This is, by the way, this is my portable live streaming rig. We're going to talk about it later into the show. But I'll try to send you a small studio tour. And I think I have to mute something else. So I'll start with the mixer. You're seeing here that it's a rather impressive mixer, but it's not that expensive. It's an Allen & Neat Z12FX. By the way, there is a link to the equipment in the description. I am only using one channel now. I was using before multiple channels. I'll explain it a bit later why I was doing it. So this is my mixer. You're seeing here my wireless thing for Apple stuff. A light I'm using also for my mobile setup. There is my switch, and this is my piece of equipment I really love. This is a DBX 286S. I'm living at about 200 or 300 meters from the airport, and I'm really living in a rather noisy environment. So what I can do with this thing is try, of course, is there a plane coming over, you're going to hear it, but it's filtering out a lot of the ambient noise. I'll talk about this piece of equipment a little bit later. What you're seeing here then is I have two monitors. This is my second monitor. This is my laptop. We can talk about this later. This is my third monitor. And for my green screen, I'm using the first light. I'm using a second light. Sorry. And I'm using a third light for my green screen. And now you're going to think, yeah, really green screen, but how fancy is it? Let me show you my green screen. It's just a cloth. But what is really important is that you don't have any wrinkles. And vMix is doing a great job keying out green screen. So this is my more or less my equipment. What you're seeing here is my X-Keys 24. We're going to talk about later about it. I'm not using it. That's probably why I didn't have any audio. This is my professional radio mic. I was using this mic before, but the problem why I'm using this microphone. I'm going to talk about my microphone a little bit later. The problem is with this microphone, normally it's here. And the problem is, I think, when you're talking to people, it's very obtrusive. It's blocking my face, it's blocking my keyboard. So that's why I decided to invest in this microphone, which is a DPA. I'll push over to this. So this microphone is a DPA microphone. It's a rather expensive microphone. We'll talk more about microphones in 2 weeks. But this is more or less about what I didn't show you is my cameras. So the camera on top is a Canon HF30, and here just above my laptop you're seeing the Logitech C920. And the Logitech C920 is it's a webcam. Sorry. But if you, this is what the Logitech C920 is, what is about. You're seeing the green screen. That's exactly the shot the Logitech C920 is showing for the moment. And my Canon HF G30 is this one. So this is keyed out already. You see a little bit the difference, the Logitech C920 and the Canon HF G30. So, first show, and I really want to thank the few people who were in the live chat and saying that I didn't have any audio. My apologies for not responding a little bit quicker to your posts. I want to thank everyone again for staying so long, and I hope to see you back next week, but then with audio from the beginning. Thanks everyone, and hopefully to see you next week. Bye bye.